He was my college coach. Obviously, he was my first boss, and he brought me into this business. But he took pride in being a teacher first and foremost. You know, I went to Xavier and got a business degree and got good grades. And if I wasn't in coaching, it would open up doors and get me a job. But the greatest class I ever took and the greatest teacher I ever had was Professor Prosser every day from 3 to 6 at Old Schmidt Fieldhouse. And he used to say, Ralph Waldo Emerson says, our chief want in life is someone who can make us do what we can. And you better win. You better win, because my kids like to eat. You know, I got to put Cheerios on the breakfast table. But, you know, I believe in collegiate coaching even more so than the professional level. You can affect the lives of young men, and that's something that I'm passionate about, and I love them. I'm not afraid to tell them I love them. After I lost Coach Prosser 17 years ago, people that I care greatly about in my life, I tell them I love them, and that's my players.
Coach was one of one, as we know. I mean,
yes,
he was just different. He was pure.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just so unique. Do you understand that every guy that just took a new job is absolutely screwed, because every AD and every fan base in the country thinks they're supposed to go 18-2 and just run the table and be coach of the year in the league and say, ho hum, let's compete for a national championship in year 2?
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, Coach. As you know, things got to fall in place. You know, it helps when you can give the ball to a great point guard at 7 at night and they give it back to you safe and sound at 9. We had great guard play last year. We had a group of guys that were just committed to winning and winning only, and it just worked out. So I think in today's day and age, it's different than years ago when you took over a job that took some rebuilding, and people were going to be patient for 3 or 4 years. But just with the transfer portal and NIL, if you have those resources, you better win. We were fortunate to do that last year and have some momentum going into this year.
Your team, just real quickly on real basketball, last year, 47% of your shots were from 3. You shot about 33%. You got some dudes that can make shots. When you look at this team and the makeup and your roster construction, you got into the portal real quick and got it done real quick in terms of the guys that you wanted. Did you look at that team and say, we understand how we want to play, this is going to be our spacing, but we've got to be able to make sure we spread the ball. We've got to really have legitimate shooters. You brought 2 of the best shooters and floor gamers and wing players in the country.
People ask me all the time, why the heck do you shoot so many threes? And I said, because they don't let us shoot 4s.
Threes count more than 2s.
33%, still 1 point per shot. Yeah. We're a terrific offensive rebounding team. Long shots equal long rebounds. There's a method to the madness a little bit. But you mentioned, we got 4 guys for sure that are surefire 40% 3-point shooters. Shooting makes up for a multitude of sins. We play fast, we spread you, we move the ball, we move people. We hunt great all the time, Coach. And as you know, great are getting to the line, scoring at the rim, and generating rhythm threes. And I think we have a team made up that'll can do that well.
We showed your big games that are coming up this season, the non-conference slate. Obviously, in the ACC have big-time games. 18-2 is great, but to go into conference play, I believe last year, 5-6 heading into conference play. What gives you confidence? How are these guys going to be more prepared for the non-conference slate, which I think the ACC as a whole has to take more advantage of?
Yeah, as you know, we lead off with the Celtics, and then we got the Bulls.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
We go to Philly, and then I think we got the Magic after that. So I've said it many times, and people in Louisville are sick of hearing it. This is an old Skip Prosser. You can't sharpen your teeth eating oatmeal. We added the Baylor thing late in the middle of conference play. I talked to John, who played Illinois late in the conference season. I said, "What'd you think? How'd you like it?" He goes, "It was great for our team." And I said, "Hey, let's do it." And then I looked.
They won by 50.
They won by 90.
Yeah.
So of course John liked it. I think we'll get to that point, and I'll see. We have Baylor after just playing the Bulls and the Celtics. I'll be like, "What the crap am I doing?" The biggest thing, Coach, as you know, is getting to Selection Sunday, giving yourself the best chance to get the best seed possible. And we think that did it. It's going to be a tough grind of a non-conference. The ACC is much, much, much better. It is and always will be, and will be once again very, very soon, the greatest conference in college basketball. So we're ready to go.
We talked about your days at Winthrop, Charleston. You come to Louisville, it certainly opens the net of that you can cast for players, and Michael Brown certainly fits that mold. Freshmen really aren't freshmen anymore because of the experience they've had. They're winning gold medals and competing for Team USA. What are expectations for this five-star guard?
Yeah, you know, he's fortunate that he's coming into a team with a lot of veterans. Michael is ridiculously talented. We all know that. Like a special burst, high-level basketball IQ, big-time shot maker, can make all the passes, special talent. It's his humility. It's his intangibles. It's his commitment to the power of the unit and his teammates that make him really special. He's the type of kid that, like, loves basketball like he loves to breathe. You actually have to get him out of the gym, because I'm keep reminding him, like, the grind of a college season is real, man. Like, the travel, the ferocity of every game, the hostile environment you're going to play in, the pounding that you're going to take. And that kid wants to be in there 24/7, so getting him out of there sometimes, getting him off his feet, keeping him refreshed will be one of the biggest challenges. But blessed to be his coach. Heck of a human being and a heck of a player.
Kind of off Matt's point there. I think the first time I saw him, it reminded me of like the first time I saw Steph Curry, where he just was so baby-faced and skinny. Talk about what Foy's done for him in this offseason, and then also like the USA basketball experience and playing with those great players around him. He seems like a guy who's up for the challenge and elevates when those great players are around.
Yeah, that was the biggest, brightest lights in amateur basketball, and he was ready when his name called. I mean, very easily could be the MVP of the old thing, but he's not about MVPs. He's about winning. You're right. He's changed his body. We have, in my opinion, the best strength coach in the country. I know you know Eli Foy really well, and he's got him ready for the rigors of college basketball, and he's going to have a big-time season.
Seth mentioned your three-point shooting. Guys talking about guard play. How about the bigs? What about Kaysen Pryor, and then what about Ali Khalifa and the other guys you got out of the portal?
Kaysen's getting close. He's about 10 months out from his surgery. He's making great progress. He's really attacked his rehab. Obviously, when he's healthy, he'll be fully cleared, and when that is, we don't know for sure, but he's making great progress. And as you know, Coach, it just takes some time to get back into the rhythm, and that'll take a little bit of time, as well. But, you know, people don't talk enough about our bigs. I mean, obviously, Javon Hadley, I don't know if you'd even call him a big because he's just one of those swing players, versatile, inside out. And then you have a three-headed monster at the 5 with Sananda Fru from Germany, who was the top young player in the German league, one of the best leagues in the world. Evangelos Zugris, who was the last cut on the national team that went to the Eurobasket a couple weeks ago with Giannis Antetokounmpo on it. The head coach, when they cut him, there was an article that said he will be the captain of the national team in his future. Wow. That's how highly they think of him. And then Ali Khalifa, who's a 7-foot point guard, one of the best passing bigs, I think, in the world. So we think we have depth and have talent and skill at every position.
I'm going to finish with this, and I know it's kind of silly, but like I like it when like Kentucky and Louisville, they can't be warm and fuzzy. It's just
No
not like
way.
if I say Kentucky to you, it's not warm and fuzzy. I mean, you and Pope, and I know we had a little mix-up the other day, which I thought was wonderful. I mean, personally, I know you're scrappy because he wants no part of it.
So I got so much respect for Mark. I mean, as a tactician, as game prep guy, like I think he thinks on another level. And his philosophy and his game prep for that was phenomenal. Like, he just wore me out. Like, he went rope-a-dope in the corner, and I just wailed for a while. And he's like, the dude's like Paul Bunyan. It was like no factor. And then I knew if he landed one, it would be like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out from the 80s. Yeah. I was cooked. So it ended up a draw. His assistants and my assistants, like, I think we should have got the decision. Dang it. Mark's a great dude. He's a great dude.
Yes.
Well said. Hey, is your son still hooping on the Nerf hoop, or is he?
No, we're past that.
Yeah, how old is he
Johnny
now?
Ball game, 7th grader.
That's awesome.
He's got 20 big brothers at the practice facility that teach him bad words every day.
Any
I'm a
offense
lucky
you
dad.
can't run and walk through?
No, we're working on the Princeton Point stuff. He's been talking about the pick and roll at the breakfast table since he was a little kid.
He's moving the
Ball game.
And he looks like
Saw
Lisa.
shaker.
He looks like Lisa, which is great.
It's going to be tall. It's going to be tall. Just for full disclosure, I'm 6-0 on the call at Louisville last year.
Oh,
6-0.
wow. Okay.
6-0.
And Patrick scored in like every one of them, I think. Almost, right?
Well, you
Pretty
certainly
close.
let him play. That's for sure. Thank you.
You finally put him in the game.
He can shoot it.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you again. Pat Kelsey, ACC Coach of the Year. Coming up next, ACC's most
Very, very spirited interview coming from Coach Pat Kelsey. A lot of stuff to react to. Like I said, today is ACC Media Day. You'll have guys on. You'll have, who are my two guests? You'll have Javon Hadley, and I believe, who else? I have it. Well, I had it right here. Do you know, Nikki? It will take me about 7 seconds.
Give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up, too.
It
Yeah,
is
I
Ryan
forgot who the
Conwell and Javon Hadley. They'll be doing
Yes,
the
yeah.
proverbial car wash today when talking about
Yeah,
basketball.
they met the media a little bit earlier today. Yeah.
You know what I like about this? You know what I like? By the way, how's it going, Nikki?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. How about you, buddy?
Listen, I'm feeling good. My man Rummage is on vacation, so you know you're gonna have to put up with me for the rest of the week. And I can't lie, I'm gonna be in a positive spirit, but it's gonna be kind of college basketball and kind of college football nerdy for the next couple of days. You want to know what I really like about this time, Nikki?
What's that?
And people, just bear with me. Listen, we can go back over. We're going to go back over Coach Kelsey's ACC Media Day. We're going to go over, what we learned and then some of the news and notes, and we're going to make sure recorded. So if you are just now tuning in and you missed Coach Kelsey, we're going to replay at the end of the show. We're going to replay the ACC opening presser and Coach Kelsey. So you want to stick around for that. I get nostalgic right around this time. When you're in your season, football and basketball, and in a college. Now, because Coach Kelsey is still such a purist, it's okay for you to think about college basketball and college athletics still as a college sport. Would you agree with that? Like with Coach Brom and Coach Kelsey, they don't have the okay, they deal in NIL, but they don't have that professional stench to them. Does that make sense? They don't feel like a wheeler and dealer kind of coaching staff. They both feel very, and not saying this in a negative way, they both feel very purist. So they feel like some of the last coaches that just still make us feel collegey. And I'm going to embrace this because I don't know what next coaches will feel like when they're just talking about, next coach, who knows? He might just get in the first presser and say, yeah, we need to raise this much money because an average 16 point a game player costs about $1.2 million on the open market. And I'm gonna be like, oh God. I'm gonna be like, don't do that to me. Don't steal.
It's like Diet Pro Sports.
Yeah. Don't steal my amateurism. So I'm gonna clutch to college amateurism with every last breath. Okay. Speaking of, once you get your basketball ACC or conference media day, your football season is starting to go from expectations, cloud in the sky, dreams of just an undefeated run to national championship to now it's grind time. This is what we have to do for the rest of our season. Now there's a hard game. Once you get your first loss in football, I hate saying it, but once you get your first loss in football, everything turns like more realistic.
Hey, not to interrupt you, but Pat Kelsey's with the field of 68 guys. You want to listen?
I don't mind.
Yeah,
Are we gonna get flagged for
let's
that?
take a listen.
Okay, let's take a listen.
Well, we'll ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Fair enough.
39% for his career from three.
Shot selection was an issue.
Pat Kelsey shot 40% from three
Yeah, he
his senior year
Did I really?
at Xavier.
I had 6 attempts, I think, right?
Whatever. I'm counting you better shooter. Best shooter at the table. Best shooter at the table. Pat Kelsey right here. We're not going to talk about Tyler's. Did you ever even shoot a three?
He shot good his senior year.
You did? You shot a
Yeah,
beat?
he shot his senior year.
wide open looks, but yeah, I got
Doesn't matter. That's good. That's called shot selection.
I've never really talked to him in person, but coaching against him back in the day, back in the old ACC days when it was like the true nine, the first nine or whatever.
Monster.
100th percentile all time in motor.
Oh yeah.
I used to describe it because I had the Scout, and I would say, like, I called it a blender. Fruit and yogurt in a blender, and you took the top off and you press the button. What happens? They're like, I go, that's how this cat plays. If it's the ball's in the air, the ball's in the ground, his blender is ridiculous. Like, so much respect. You still, like, you look like you should be a starting defensive end for the Bengals.
well, that's I'm doing a lot of lifting, not a lot of cardio, so that's the combination.
Tyler's a pickleball player now. Pro pickleball player.
Are you really?
Yeah,
I coached. I coached against TO2.
Yeah.
And I think at Clemson, you had like 6 or 7 threes against us.
Maybe.
He couldn't guard that chair over there. that cat could
Well, I was wondering how long it was going to take for that.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. No, really true. And then I just told our guys about chill. Because they don't,
They don't know.
They don't know.
They're too old.
So I told them about the run he made in the ACC tournament. I told him about when he crossed the guy and he told him to get up and he banged the three, and I told him to go look at it. So
I tried to hustle them for some NIL. I was like, hey, let's get to a shoot contest.
They don't know, Chip.
No, they don't know. I got to get them.
And
You ruined it for me.
being around your guys, and I was out there a few weeks ago, and not only are you talented, the maturity of your guys, I think, is something that's going to set you apart this year. The chemistry, the maturity, you could see it. And I think a big part of it, again, we talked about this, is Mikal coming in as a freshman and blending. Not trying to be the dude. And he's so mature for a freshman. You know, just on the court, off the court. I don't know. There's some feel being around your team that I get. I'm like, this could be.
And the good thing about that maturity is the level-headedness throughout the rigors and the ups and downs of the season. Like, last year, there weren't many expectations. I mean, there always is at Louisville, but coming off a couple years before we got there, it was like anything we did. It was like, we reinvented the wheel and we were the greatest thing since Cheerios. It's totally different now. There's crazy expectations. And, like, there's ridiculous expectations on our team. Michael Brown, you mentioned. And keeping an even keel, putting those blinders on, not listen to Ryan Day said it yesterday. I thought it was great. Like I saw it on a press conference. I don't know if he gave it yesterday, but he just talked about noise. And, people attribute noise sometimes to negative noise, like people stabbing you and throwing crap at you. But noise is also the attaboys, the pats on the back. And kids these days are obviously so attached to their phone. And there's yahoos out there that make a comment and they let that affect their being some. It's a process.
And
like, we got a chance to be
with social media. It's impossible to avoid.
like it's impossible, like, probably for Michael to truly live up to what everybody said, because it's ridiculous. Michael's a great player, phenomenal talent, world-class human, great teammate. And he's blended in with those guys, and they've accepted it and bought into what we call the power of the unit. Last year, our thing was blinders on, next thing, be great in the process. We didn't listen to them when we played poorly early on. We didn't listen to stuff when we went 18-2 and won 14 straight in the ACC, whatever it was. And we're doing the same thing now. And that is the key to this whole deal. You're talking about this, an expectation, how good we can be. Yes. That's an outcome that we can't worry about. It's about tomorrow's practice at 3.
Pat Kelsey, I'm going to call BS on that, because I ain't nowhere in the hell the Pat Kelsey coach team is going to be drinking Kool-Aid or any of that. You're too damn good of a coach for that to happen. You kicked in the door in this league a year ago. No surprise there.
Okay, let's pull it, Nick.
You're even better this year. But one of the things that I've seen, you in your system, you take a lot of threes. And your percentages wasn't great. But you brought in some high percentage guys coming in this year.
Yeah.
And if that translates, I think that's why the expectations are being there. Those guys drinking the Kool-Aid, I don't worry about, because I know the type of leader you are. Yeah. But has that translated to shot making this summer with the group?
People ask me all the time, why do you shoot so many threes? And I say, because they don't let me shoot fours. You know, last year we shot at about 33%. That's still 1 point per shot. There's still a science to it. We're a very good offensive rebounding team. Long shots, long rebounds. We're able to get a lot of those back. It's one of the ways that we wear down our opponent. I think one of the things with this year's team is being able to wear people down because we have more depth.
Okay.
Obviously, we value three-point shooting. You mentioned the caliber of shooters that we have. We have 4 guys that probably the back of their bubblegum card says they're 40% three-point shooters. There aren't a lot of teams that have that. People know that in preparation. They're going to do their best to take that away. They're not one-trick ponies. People talk about their shooting. Those dudes can hoop. Ryan Conwell's a good all-round, really, really good all-round player, as is Isaac McNeely and Adrian Woolley and Michael Brown. Skip Prosser used to say, you know, we can't just have suburban jump shooters, and that's not what this team is. They're ballers. But yeah, it helps when the ball goes in. I look a lot smarter as a coach. Last year's team you mentioned, we had, you know, you look at the level of guard play that we had last year with Chucky Hepburn and Terrence Edwards. You could give them the ball at 7 at night. They'd give it back to you safe and sound at 9. And we got a lot of guys like that this year.
Field of 68. Field of 68. Like I said, if you want to go check out the rest of that interview, I don't want to totally jack them for all their content, but it is good stuff. Like I said, I didn't realize he got 4 dudes that are flirting around with 40% 3-point averages.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
Goodness. But I'll definitely have to swing back around to that point. Here's the thing. 2 things. As soon as Coach Kelsey answered the word noise, I was going to pull right before that. But when I heard him talk about the noise and Michael Brown dealing with the noise, that's part of the opening monologue I was going to talk about today about why I like this time so much when you talk about noise. Because there's the campus noise. It's such a perfect time to like separate your big boy athletes from people that start thinking about next year, transfer window. Like this week, right here, is the strongest you have to be psychologically on campus. I mean, I know that doesn't make sense like now, but it's like right now you're in that window of your, 18 through 24s where you're going to determine a big part of the direction of your life right where you're deciding how to control the noise. Your athletic life versus your discipline is now. Do y'all realize right now in preseason, like pre-basketball season conditioning, the coaches are trying to get you to play 1,000,000 miles an hour. So on the basketball end, they are so healthy. You're going hard on each other in the practices, but your conditioning level is crazy right now. It's Nikki. It's go to the time you felt the best, Nikki, and just timestamp it and say, if you could feel like your preseason self for any extended time of your life, you'd never give it up for anything. Campus life. Football team just took a loss, right? The game plan of the football team is getting really real. You're not getting the same pat on the back once you take a loss. You're in your bye week. Now, you imagine if you're in your bye week in football, you're either locking into the grind or the distractions of the basketball getting revved up start creeping in. And we don't have to hide from it. Let's just say there's a lot of intersport competition going on campus. If you catch my drift, Nikki, a lot of campus competition is going on right now for the big man on campus who, there's only a certain number of resources around the campus and around the area. So now you get that swing from football to basketball, right? Now the competition for those family ticket section, for those, I don't know how many free tickets each family gets. Probably still get 4 or 5, same as always probably. I'd imagine, but now your basketball players, people are getting a little friendlier, trying to secure those tickets for those home games. So there's a lot of competition for your attention. And you can always tell when you have good teams of people who can just really listen, this is where maturity on your team helps out. Some people have the teammates that just, put it this way, some of your teammates and players really take advantage of their tickets. Right?
I feel like I would have been one of those players.
Listen, it's funny, Nikki, because you have those teammates that you got the family section, right? And then let's just say you see 2 businessmen that don't really look like anybody that don't really look exactly like anybody in your family.
Oh, this is my uncle so-and-so.
This is my uncle so-and-so. He's the owner of the, downtown, social club. Blah, blah. But listen, not quite the highest level of businessmen, but you can just tell your tickets are being, what's the word? They look almost negotiated. What do you want me to say? People procure favors through tickets in a lot of situations. So, but my point to all this is, this could all be huge distraction period for the young guys. And when it's not a distraction, you see it and you know it. You can see it in the football. You can know it. You know when the guys get locked in. So you're on campus and you can tell who's really about having a successful season and who's just kind of turning up. Who's a college student, a college athlete turning up. So when I get my media day, you listen to your coaches. Is he aware of how much this is, this is the window of distraction? Finagled. Not finagled, because it's a fair exchange. So Red State, I wouldn't say finagled. By the way, the phone lines are open, 8150-939. When you hear a Coach Kelsey acknowledge all the little things that you have to get right in the time like this, it's so easy to say, hey, next thing in front of you is the most important thing that you'll do for the rest of the year. And you're selling it. And then you look like I saw the culture you held together last year. And I'm reminded how much of your culture is already in the locker room with I was going to call him Jawar Jordan, Kobe Rogers, with Ali Khalifa, with I just said his name because he's going to the media day. I'm sorry, Javon. Gosh darn it. Javon's never going to forgive me for forgetting his name every single time. Like, your culture being passed down in the window is what's going to keep everybody focused in this time. Like, right when the season starts is when you have the most opportunity to screw up your whole season. Not to mention, what I also love is everybody who jumps into the text line, everybody who says that, who makes the jokes about, we only have 14, 15 days until you're playing Kansas. So with that carrot dangling in front of you, that's just one other thing that helps you stay locked in. Also, this was funny. I really did appreciate the joke about Michael Brown that Luke made about him being baby-faced, right? That gave me a particular chuckle, because there's nothing.
His nickname.
No. Listen. It's nothing better than going to or facing an opponent and your guy looks younger and he works a grizzled veteran. Right? Like that's what makes 88% of Steph Curry's marketing career was due to his baby-faced look and absolutely tearing grizzled veteran men to shreds. It's the ultimate David and Goliath look. Looking like Steph Curry did for what has he been in the league for? How long has Steph Curry been in the league? It's gonna suck when you hear the number. You're gonna feel old, aren't you?
Steph Curry draft. Let's see. He was drafted 2009. Wow.
2009.
Almost 20 years.
He's 2009. Were we looking at 16 years?
16 years, yeah.
Steph Curry's been tearing people up. Let's just say 14 years, because his first 2 years he was kind of injured, so he wasn't just tearing people up. He became a monster probably his third year.
Yeah.
So for 14 years, you've been watching somebody look like like he could pass for college up until maybe 3-4 years ago, when he started really growing his facial hair out. But yeah, point being, when you run up on somebody, my biggest fear is that grizzled football player looking point guard is roughing Michael Brown up the entire time and getting away with it. The 7th year Bucknell guard whose only job it is just to get Michael Brown frustrated. That's my biggest fear. Now the reverse to that, the thing I would enjoy this more than anything. There's probably nothing that can replace Chucky Hepburn and the Chucky Hepburn 1 year experience. But if Michael Brown really just delivers, and like I said, I would never put a win-loss total on him. I would not put an accomplishment on him, but it's like, you know it when you see it. You know it when you see it early. And if you know it, if you feel like you're going to march into your games for the rest of this season, feeling like you went in with the best point guard and they know you leave with the best point guard, there is nothing, no better feeling than that. Listen, let's get a reset. I'm going to try to keep you on schedule. Quick commercial break, rolling along. Middays with Marcus Baby, 939 The Ville.
Hey, it's Mark Blankenbaker here, and I've recently discovered Hectare's low-dose Delta-9 THC and CBD-infused drinks, your new go-to for a hangover-free buzz. Sip on bold flavors like dragon fruit or the delicious blood orange vanilla with 5 milligrams of hemp-derived Delta-9 THC and CBD. It's federally legal, low-calorie, and hits in just minutes for a smooth social vibe. Hectare's is my alcohol alternative so I can stay California sober for a buzz without the booze. Find Hectare's THC seltzers at your local liquor store or online at hectares.com. Sip, smile, and find your vibe with Hectares.
Do you want to grow your business? ESPN Louisville wants to help take it to the next level. Let ESPN Louisville assist through the best sports talk, the power of local and national sports news, brand building and connecting fans through audio and digital elements, live broadcasts, and much more. Email us at partnerships@espnlouisville.com. That's partnerships@espnlouisville.com. Become a partner of the sports leader, ESPN Louisville.
Looking for a thrilling new experience in Louisville? Head over to Next Level Ranges, the city's newest high-tech gun range. Whether you're a pro or a beginner, we've got the perfect setup with state-of-the-art lanes, expert instructors, and a safe, welcoming atmosphere. Wrap up your shooting with a farm-to-table meal from Brass Social, or kick up your feet and relax in our exclusive members lounge. With personal lockers for your convenience, you'll feel right at home. Located just off Blankenbaker Parkway across from Lexus of Louisville and J-Town, Next Level Ranges, where precision meets passion. Visit nextlevelranges.com for more information. That's nextlevelranges.com.
Is your tile tired, cracked grout, worn caulking, or dingy floors bringing your space down? Well, call the Grout Medic of Louisville. They specialize in regrouting, recaulking, cleaning, sealing, tile repair, and replacement for both residential and commercial projects. At the Grout Medic, owners Audrey and Marty McGraw and Jeremy Wheatley believe in one thing above all: customer first service. Professional, reliable, and always with your satisfaction in mind. Call them today for your free estimate at 502-609-3900. That's 502-609-3900. The Grout Medic of Louisville will bring your tile back to life.
Baltimore Ravens football plays here.
Derrick Henry up the middle. He's to the 30, 20, leg race, gone! Touchdown, Derrick Henry! And they're going wild at M&T!
The Ravens look to bounce back Sunday, hosting Matthew Stafford and the Rams. Pre-game coverage begins at 12:30 with kickoff at 1.
Lamar keeps it, read option, running to the right, gets outside the number, touchdown Ravens!
And it's all on your home for Ravens football, 93.9 The Ville.
Your chance to get that rare, hard-to-find luxury timepiece is here at Genesis Diamonds. Hi, this is Eddie Edmoni, VP at Genesis. Mark your calendar, October 17th and 18th. Genesis is hosting an epic luxury pre-owned Rolex event featuring a stunning new selection of these hard-to-find watches. Submariners, Daytonas, Pepsis, Batmans, including never-worn fresh models that people wait years for. No waiting list and no retail games. Come see the largest selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches in Kentucky and take advantage of special financing, up to 60 months, zero interest. And listen to this, with the purchase of any luxury pre-owned Rolex at this event, Genesis will give you a pair of 4-carat lab-grown diamond stud earrings valued at $5,000, absolutely free. And if you are already a Rolex owner, bring your old Rolex to trade or meet our buyers on site to receive top dollar for your timepiece. It's October 17th and 18th only, and only at Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes, Cheverville Plaza. See store for details while supply lasts.
Sports fans, touchdown at Boom Boss.
Red
Enjoy
State.
gourmet pizzas,
National
handcrafted
champions.
cocktails,
Robert.
and the best game day
Just
atmosphere in town. Boom Boss.
Are we okay
in the
with going
Highlands, Westport
basketball
Village,
today?
J-Town, Jeffersonville,
How much
and
football do we need to
E-Town.
put in?
Download the ESPN Louisville app today on the Apple or Google
What
Play
y'all think?
Store. Brewed by Bud Light.
Pretty soon, turning on the heat in your house will be a common event. And if you're not sure your heating system is ready for the winter months ahead, it may be time to call who we call at the station,
a little basketball
DFH
move
Company.
today?
This month from DFH, you'll receive a 10-year parts and labor warranty. And you'll finally have the temperature just right in that hard-to-heat-up room this winter. It's hard to stop a train, so call DFH Company today about a train comfort system at 968-6222 or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Visit dfhcompany.com for complete program eligibility, dates, details, and restrictions subject to credit approval.
So you just started working and you're finally on your career journey, but with student loans, rent, groceries, you need every dollar to be working for you. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking, the incredible all-in-one account that powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits. Visit ccuky.org/power to learn more. Power Checking only from Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently. Insured by NCUA. Call us at 1-800-228-6420 for details.
If you're a true sports fan, you're always searching for that home field advantage. And speaking of homes, I have the perfect realtor that can meet all of your needs. The name you should know, Derek A. Stewart. Derek A. Stewart brings experience and expertise to all of your home buying and selling needs. Derek is also familiar with any and every type of property and location you could be interested in. And the best part is, your home field advantage is only a telephone call away. So do yourself a favor and call Derek A. Stewart at 502-314-9868 today.
Here's what you missed on the Diener Show.
I think you do the BVG fade on them now. Like, whatever the number is, no matter who they're playing, because I don't think they win a game, the rest of the way. I just don't think they have it in them. I don't think that they care. I don't think that there's any belief. And I think Scott Satterfield gets the North Carolina job at the end of the year.
Oh, well, slow down, Cowboy. Wow. Slow your roll.
Weekday morning, 7 to 10 on 93.9 The Ville, ESPN 680 and 105.7.
or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. Make sure you look into the Mitsubishi Mini Split like the one we use at the 93.9 studios for the hard to heat, hard to cool room in your home. Again, 968-6222, or look them up online at dfhcompany.com. So things from the opening basketball media day presser. Now, I put on the YouTube channel, Made for the Ville, I kind of put it up for open discussion, open debate. How much were we going to go basketball centric today? Or how much football were we going to do? I was ready to go to do both, but the overwhelming majority was comfortable with talking basketball. 8150 939 is the number. Feel free to jump in on that. I am more than comfortable talking about the basketball setup and the presser that Coach just gave us. I'll say this, and I'll just go down the line of some things that just stuck. That just, once I heard them, they gave me some bit of emotional reaction. Number one, first thing that I had to write down in the notes is the resume. I was struggling trying to decide how much. I was trying to make a pie chart or percentages. How much of this tough schedule, especially out of conference, the ACC basketball conference schedule is tough enough, but when you don't have the narrative in your corner, now be it early season ACC SEC challenge, be it ESPN television rights deals, and some years you seem like you got, they're trying to market your conference, and some years it's just not, the machine is not behind you. Regardless of your conference schedule, Coach Kelsey, by the time you got to, the last month of the offseason and your schedule was pretty much finalized, how much of our schedule is really NCAA tournament resume? How much of it is really, I want to take my boys to play the best? I want my players to play the best so they've seen everything. Now, in my old school traditional mentality, the OG world is where, the parents, the moms, the dads would just say, no, you need to play against the best. We grew up in a time where if you were 10 years old and you could play, if you had a local team which you could play with the 14-year-olds, that's what you did. You played up as high a level as you can to be somewhat effective to get better. Now, I knew in the beginning of the offseason, Coach Kelsey was hurt about the seeding. The moment the game ended. Now, I don't think he cared when it came out and he saw, the crate, and he was just, he next game in front of you, next man up. I think the moment we lost, he said, the hell were we doing playing the Big East champion runner-up in round 2? That's insane. Or round 1, whatever, sorry. I said round 2. I don't know where I got that from. Anyway, the minute that loss happened, I would have said 99% of this offseason schedule is going to be due to that seeding. As we got closer and closer to the year, I think right after the game, he was going to make sure he stuck a couple of out-of-conference big dog teams on it. But it seemed like he kept going, and he kept pushing the line more and more. Now my percentage scale started sliding. And I started to think to myself, he's seen what he was able to recruit. Once he saw what he was able to recruit, once he saw how he was going to be able to continue his culture without having to totally shake up his roster, I think it went from I'm stung by the seeding to I'm going to spend the whole season proving that I'm one of the best coaches and I can put together some of the best rosters. Listen, when he talks about sharpening your teeth, I don't think he's just talking about the players. I think he's looking forward to getting scouting reports, getting his managers running scout team games at the highest level. Keep in mind, this is one of the most overlooked or underappreciated things. This is one of the most underappreciated things that you'll realize. When your managers win a basketball national championship, I'm saying this for a fact, people. Just so you know I'm serious. When your managers win the basketball college manager national championship, do you realize that means you had the best staffers, the most bought-in staffers in the country to run your scout team stuff? Most programs do not have that level of staffer commitment to executing everyone else's offense to give you and we had a lot of injuries too. We had a lot of guys who were, our depth got really light late season. And for you to have the best managerial staff at playing basketball without an obvious ringer, I was waiting to find out that they played some dude who wasn't even on the manager staff, and they just enrolled him in school and called him a manager so he could just dominate. Some former NBA player or something, and just put a ridiculous ringer on. But no, in all seriousness, when your manager staff, my point is top to bottom, sharpen your teeth. My scout, so I know how to play this. I do a better job at playing this bump on the pick and roll. I make sure I find out how to keep Javon Hadley out of foul trouble on the back end when other teams, because other teams are going to use that Creighton game as the blueprint, especially early on. The Creighton game is going to be in scout report for at least for our first 10 games. If they go through multiple films. But our coaching staff getting all the film they need off the offseason on Kansas. Actually, let's bring this up really quick. I'm ready to start scouting Kansas as much as I can. It's going to be on the ACC network. Nikki, how are you gonna sell that as an exhibition game?
I mean,
how are you gonna sell Louisville, Kansas as an exhibition? Are you gonna run it like a normal ACC monster game and just keep putting the word exhibition at the bottom and that's it?
I mean, I guess so, but I mean, good get by the ACC network, because that's going to get regular season numbers, obviously. Like, that's probably going to get better numbers than a couple of actual games that matter in the standings.
It's October 8th, Nikki. The ACC network is going to have Louisville, Kansas at the KFC Yum Center on the 24th.
Man, I'm excited.
On television.
That's going to be great. It's going to be great. Because other people in the ACC are going to get to see what Louisville can do. And, I mean, Kansas is going to be a challenge. And, I mean, this is a massive game. And I know it's an exhibition game.
My dad's birthday is
my
the
God,
14th.
This could be a statement game, right? I mean, a little put the rest of the conference on notice a little
I
bit.
mean,
You know what I'm saying?
we made the joke. We made the joke. If you lose, it never mattered because it's just an exhibition game. And if you win, it's my justification for being number one in the country. There is no in between. If I win, that Kansas roster was a championship roster. If we win and Michael Brown balls, I got the college basketball player of the year. Game 1, Nikki. There is no challenging, there's no arguing anything. Point being, I opened this segment speaking about the schedule. The scheduling. I really did think he was just hurt on the seeding last year, but once he saw his class, he's going for the jugular. He's going for the jugular as far as rankings. He's going for the jugular as far as national respect. He's going for the jugular as far as I am going to be able to turn this into a recruiting ploy as well.
Right.
Again, I've been on this air for a long time, and everybody has heard me say this ad nauseum. I came to Louisville because we had the hardest schedule in the nation.
You wanted all the smoke.
All the smoke. That is, and you get, when you have a schedule like that, you get players that have chips on their shoulder that think they're good and want to prove it. Not think they're good and want to go to a place where they can look the best. No, I want to physically take my respect from everybody. I don't want my respect level to live. I don't want to be awarded respect from the media, from the national. I want to physically take my respect from the teams that are supposed to be good. I'm sure he made them aware. He made those players aware that I am going to have the nastiest schedule come next year. I'm sure he started his off season in his recruitments with, you're going to have a chance to prove it beyond all shadow of a doubt if you're really like that. Listen, I'm getting worked up just thinking about what my offseason is starting to come to an end. I still got 2 weeks, and it feels like I play this Saturday. Nikki, you go ahead and play us out before I have a aneurysm live on air. Go ahead and play me out. When we come back, couple of things. Again, some comments coming out from Coach Kelsey made my antenna stick up. I'm sure they did the same to you. We are rolling along on 93.9 The Ville.
It's the bye week, but we're still talking about Louisville football.
It's a direct snap to Taylor, and he scores. And Virginia has won the game.
You know, when you give them 14 points on offense, it's really disturbing and disappointing. So that falls on me. The execution on certain things was really disappointing. And you know, shouldn't have.
Hey, I'm
If
gonna
it's the Cards, they
about
play
to
here
get to
on
Lynn Family
93.9 The
Stadium.
Ville and the ESPN Louisville
I
app.
have the press conference from this
Your
morning.
chance to
loaded
get that rare
with the-
hard.
Wait, hold. You put that sound back in my ear. You can put the sound back in, Nikki.
Genesis Diamonds, your home for luxury pre-owned Rolexes. Shelbyville Road Plaza. See store for details while supplies last.
Tired of long waits? At Barnes Auto Service, you get faster service, fair prices, and a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on every repair. From brakes to batteries, AC to tires, they do it all with an ASE-certified tech who treats you like family. For a limited time, ESPN Louisville listeners get 10% off any repair or service. Just mention ESPN when you book. Visit BarnesAutoservice.com or call 502-966-8644 today. Barnes Auto Service, trusted by Louisville for over 40 years.
Scott Graham here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Jason Benetti and Devin McCourty have the call as Week 6 of the season kicks off with NFC East action between the Eagles and the Giants. Philadelphia, the defending Super Bowl champions, are coming off their first loss of the season last week. Can they get their repeat hopes back on track? Find out on Thursday Night Football.
Coverage begins Thursday at 7:30 on all ESPN Louisville stations.
All right, gentlemen, this is Emmett Smith on behalf of Depend, and I've got the perfect play. Run straight to your doctor's office for a life-changing catch. Because when prostate cancer is caught early, it's up to 99% treatable, and one blood test might be all it takes. And now through November, Depend is donating to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for select purchases. Talk about a great play.
From September 1st to November 30th, Depend is donating 25 cents to the Prostate Cancer Foundation for Depend Shields Guards Real Fit products purchased in the U.S. up to a maximum of $300,000 or in Mississippi.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Catch Fat Jack from FatJackSports.com on The Drive with Mark Ennis every Thursday at 4:30 during the football season. Mark and Jack will discuss the spreads, the overs, and the under on local and national games. You'll hear angles to games you didn't even know existed. Fat Jack has been a leading sports analyst for 25-plus years. His records are documented and recorded at FatJackSports.com. Listen every Thursday at 4:30 during The Drive with Mark Ennis on 93.9 The Ville.
Hi, this is Paul Rogers. Over the years, I've seen athletes sidelined by all kinds of injuries. I know how important it is to get back in the game. That's why I trust Ellison Bodenhausen Orthopedics. Don't let an injury hold you back. At Ellison Bodenhausen, they help athletes of all ages return to the activities they love with expert care, fast access to appointments, and recovery plans tailored to you. From joint pain and fractures to ACL tears and shoulder injuries, their team uses the latest techniques and a collaborative approach to deliver real results. Same and next day appointments are available at all 4 locations in Louisville and Southern Indiana. Walk-in clinics are offered every Monday morning from 8 to 9:30 at East Point, Dixie Highway, and St. Matthews. Schedule online at embortho.com or call 502-587-1236. That's at Ellison Bodenhausen Orthopedics. The care you deserve, the results you expect.
Can't get enough ESPN Louisville? Subscribe to us on YouTube at ESPN Louisville for live watch-alongs, play-by-play breakdowns with the coach, behind-the-scenes action in the bullpen, and more.
Hey, it's Steve Rummage here. You've probably heard all about the new regulations that have hit the real estate market, making the process more complex than ever. And if you're not working with the right real estate agent professional, you could find yourself out of bounds fast. That's why it's more important than ever to work with someone who has proven their expertise. Like my good friend Josh Jarbo. Josh was recently inducted into the RE/MAX Hall of Fame and named one of Louisville's 40 under 40. This guy knows the game inside and out. Josh and the team at RE/MAX Empire are the seasoned pros you want on your side. They know how to navigate the market, make the right calls, and get you the best deal every time. So don't let a cut-rate agent make a rookie mistake and fumble your financial future. Whether you're buying, selling, or just need some mortgage advice, these are the folks you want in your corner. So here's the play. Call Josh Jarbo, 502-216-7590, or check him out online at joshjarbo.remaxempireky.com. And here's a special offer just for you guys. Mention you heard it right here on 93.9 The Ville, and you're going to receive up to a $5,000 seller's credit. I'll leave you with this. Top-notch service might seem expensive, but poor service can cost you a fortune. Don't settle for less than the best.
Josh Jarbo, principal broker owner of Remax Empire and co-founder of Modern Mortgage A to Z, NMLS number 2256125. Each office is independently owned and operated. Modern Mortgage A to Z is an equal house lender.
The official broadcast partner of all U of L athletics, WLCL Sellersburg, is 93.9 The Ville. Powered by Sam Aguiar Injury Lawyers. Hurt in a car? Call Sam Aguiar.
Ready to launch your career with UPS? UPS is now hiring. The UPS Employment Center is now the UPS Airlines Career Center, located at 100 High Rise Drive in Louisville, Kentucky. Part-time day shift package handling positions are available with starting pay at $21 an hour. Benefits include paid holidays, paid vacation, 401k, tuition assistance, healthcare, medical, dental, vision insurance after 9 months. Apply today at upsjobs.com/worldport. Launch your career with us today at UPS. upsjobs.com.
Hey, Jeff Jewell with Tech Restore. Sick of waiting at the Apple Store? Skip the mall and the madness.
Right.
At Tech Restore, there's no appointment needed, ever. Just walk in and get Apple.
What's up, Marcus?
You tell me.
We offer genuine your
I was
device
listen.
at a
I
time.
was.
Bring you back. I'm gonna kind of monitor it. We've got your press conferences, so Nick told you to be out by 11:30.
Yep.
All right, cool. I'm gonna have Elijah just kind of watch the board. I'm not gonna be far, but we got it.
Okay, cool.
What we do is accept 1% as the listing agent and recommend you pay the buyer's agent 2.5%. The average home
James,
sale
does he
around
know
here
to
is
pump
around
it up?
$300,000.
Are you gonna do the
I'm
pump it
gonna
up?
be here for that.
Okay, okay.
Closing.
When Edlin lists your home, it immediately goes on all the places where buyers are looking for a home.
When I put a listing on the MLS, it is automatically shared with all the real estate apps. Zillow, Realtor.com, you name it. So all of that overhead in my business is gone. And what really should happen, prices should go down, the price of real estate services. And that's what we're reflecting in our commission structure.
So visit Edlin.com to start keeping more of your home's equity. That's Edlin.com, EDELEN.com.
Your home.
All right, we're back after this.
Okay,
First
cool.
line of defense is your roof. So if your roof is under attack by either Mother Nature or Father Time, you should be calling Citadel Roofing and Construction. Citadel Roofing and Construction is locally owned and operated, will provide free inspections, estimates, and of course they'll work with your insurance. Did I also mention their A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau? Let Citadel Roofing and Construction protect the roof that protects you by calling 502-219-7964 today.
Point of the show, I always like to give a huge shout out and special thanks to one of the most trusted members of the team. That would be one Kentuckiana Pump Sales. For every home, building, business, or municipality that all rely on the movement these pumps provide. The moment you need a water or sewage pump, you should be thinking Kentuckiana Pump Sales. They're like our first responders or essential personnel. Over 36 years of experience, best service, fairest possible price. And it's right over in Jeffersonville, Indiana. People, go see Harold or go see Mark. They'll find out exactly what you need. Utilities, sump, affluent, grinder, sewage, anything you need. 3303 Industrial Parkway, Jeffersonville, Indiana, of course. Or you can give them a call, 812-725-9217, or simply visit KentuckianaPumps.com. Coach Kelsey doing ACC Media Day. It turns into must-watch adrenaline injection into my veins, excited for a season. every time you haven't heard from Coach in a while, you are reminded how excited he is about the sport and about to be a coach and about being a coach and about being a teacher and about teaching the life lessons and all that good stuff. And the minute you start to take it for granted or it gets a little cliche sounding, you hear his voice and you're reminded that it's not cliche. When I was listening to Coach, here's the thing. We're still in the phase of getting to listen to the coach, find out what's coach speak, find out what makes him tick. I think we just learned something else today listening to Coach. The media has always had a kind of a joke about how Coach Pitino would use the media to get a message to the players, right? I think we all can agree that's a safe assumption. Coach Pitino seemed like he used the media to get messages out there, narratives out there for not only his players, but but around college basketball as well. Listening to Coach Kelsey, none of his commentary about his players has sounded hyperbolic at all. Like the anti-Rick Pitino, not anti-Rick Pitino, that sounds like I'm throwing shade one way or the other. Just, you have multiple ways to do things, and he just does his things in the opposite way. When the coach Kelsey was asked about his big men, right? When he was asked about, he wanted to make sure that, I don't think he came into it with a game plan, but I think when that question came up about his big men, he knows that they're not getting their appropriate amount of conversation. How does he know that? I don't know. He shouldn't know that because he doesn't pay attention to anything in the outside world. Maybe somebody just tells him every now and then. But when you heard him say, I have a three-headed monster in the bigs. First he said, I don't know if you want to count Javon Hadley, but he do a lot of big man stuff. That was his first mention. But when he said it, the inflection in his voice, when he said, we have a three-headed monster in Sananda Fru, and just the way he made sure he didn't go nickname with Evangelist Zugris. He didn't go nickname. He didn't go, quick. Talking about Case and Pryor. When he said, not Case Pryor, Ali Khalifa. When he said Ali Khalifa, and this is the one where I made the Rick Pitino comparison. We chuckle. He's the best shooter I've ever seen in my life. Rick Pitino kind of stuff. When he said, I believe that Ali Khalifa is the best passing big man in the world. In the world, not college basketball, not the country, the world, basically saying, I haven't seen a big man passing better. And he just knows the only thing that would have sounded hyperbolic if he would have said something like outside of Joker or something, then I would have been able to roll my eyes a little bit and say, come on, coach. But that level of belief in his players doesn't sound like he's trying to get a message to his players from the media to boost their confidence or anything like that. He sounds like he believes that he has an elite level passing weapon. He glossed over. I think the average college basketball fan, even the big time Louisville college basketball fan hears we have shooters, and you're excited. Yeah, we got some shooters, got some guys that can really score the ball. But when he says, I got 4 guys that on their baseball card or whatever, their basketball card, they're shooting 40%. I mean, when you say I got 4 sharpshooters, I got 4 dudes with a sharpshooter level resume on my team. And the best, if he says the world, you couldn't convince him that there's 2 other bigs in all of college that can pass better than Ali Khalifa. You can hear it in his voice. Now, that's just one part of it. That's like having a wide receiver and quarterback duo or tandem. You know, when you got the quarterback and you got the 3 wide receivers, you got the your X, Y, and slot, whatever. You have the combination that you need to know you're going to have a good passing game. I mean, if you start your team knowing you got that combination, and then you say, you just sprinkle in that our 4 or 5, our inside wall guy or whatever physicality guy was the last cut of the Greek national team. The 13th, I mean, he's like the 13th best player in the country. That guy gets talked about as an afterthought of just a throw in. No, he's a national team level guy. Almost like I could see if Coach Kelsey didn't want to answer that question anymore. And then he's going to get flooded with, who the hell is that guy? And how much did he cost? That's going to be the hater coming out of that's the the peek around the corner. You realize that's going to happen, right? People are going to go to their YouTube TV and they're going to be scrolling. And it's basketball. So most people who are fans of other places, I don't even know if we're competing with anybody else on Kansas Louisville night. I don't know who else has exhibitions, what's going on, but somebody's going to look around that corner. They're going to scroll over and they're going to say, Kansas playing Louisville tonight? They better hope that there's something big going on that night that steals the eyeballs off of Louisville, Kansas. Because if that Michael Brown buzz reaches the national media, if that Olympic could have been, like you said, Coach even said it, he didn't hide from it, could have been the MVP. He makes sure he throw that in there too. If you mess around and get Michael Brown, Louisville, Kansas, on a night where there's not much sports competition, and you put on a show in front of people, buckle up for the noisiest non-conference buzz you can imagine. The schedule is going to get amplified. What Coach Kelsey has done this fast is going to get amplified. The expectations are going to get amplified. The buzz, the ticket prices, everything's going to get amplified really, really fast. And you can tell he speaks with belief. when he's talking about his players and individuals, and he's joking around about how tough the schedule is, almost to a level of sarcasm. Oh man, I can't believe I made this schedule so tough. Oh my God, I mean, I'm gonna, he sounds like he's teasing himself. He's teasing the public. Like, I can't wait till y'all see now listen. Of course, he can be excited. He can be confident going into the season, and you can catch some bad luck here and there. That's possible. But I don't think he's putting his chips in anything to do with lucky. I don't think he's speaking from any place of not knowing or not knowing. Yeah, I want to say not knowing. I don't want to say feeling. He speaks like he knows. Exhibition highlights will be on SportsCenter for sure. Mark it down. Okay, yeah, you're right. Like, listen, I don't know if ACC is just going to be selfish with the rights to the exhibition. I don't know how they're going to play it all out. It's definitely going to be a story. Either way, like I said, especially if you win. Again, his respect for the ACC overall is a thing. Coach Kelsey made sure to acknowledge it's going to be the best conference, and he like I say, he didn't say it with hyperbolic tendency. He didn't sound like he was trying to artificially pump up the ACC. Like, I'm sure in the next interview when he talks about the ACC, I bet he can name every single coach instantly and what they're good at and what they're getting better at and all that good stuff. He's tapped in. Case in Pryor. I'm just kind of going down some of the news and notes before. Again, we're going to play the ACC network and Coach Kelsey. So if you didn't get to hear it, if you're just now joining, we will be replaying that. Case in Pryor. This will be the segment of the Case in Pryor update that I'll say. This is what my interpretation is. He's 10 months recovery from injury. When Coach is talking about Case in Pryor, he's talking about just getting him fully cleared. But he didn't sound like he's in a rush at all. He didn't sound like he's in a rush at all. And he sounded like, I'm going to make sure he's healthy physically and mentally before I get him back in here. So I would not expect, like every time I hear him talk about Case in Pryor, I feel better about his health, but slower about his timeline returning, if that makes sense. I want to phrase that right. Every time I hear Coach Kelsey talk about Case in Pryor's return, he sounds like he's ahead of schedule in the recovery, but it sounds like Coach is going to just let him get fully healthy. Let him get stronger, not baseline. Get him in there with Coach Foy, get him working out, get him fully stable with, again, mentally and physically before you put him out there. Again, the reason, and this will kind of be the last way I talk about it. I love the passing. I love the big man passing conversation, the Michael Brown conversation. Those are two, like I said, if you watched any of that Olympics, if you watch Michael Brown, I mean, he has that David Johnson. By the way, shout out to David Johnson joining the 502 Elite when he returns. So I saw that news, so I wanted to give a bit of a shout out to David Johnson. He's going to be successful around the community. This is very heartwarming, good to hear, him getting involved. Michael Brown has that hook pass. He has that left and right hand distribution. If I got 2 elite passers and 4 40% shooters, and my passers can also shoot at a very, very high clip, it's one of those things where, here's the problem. This is always a difficulty for me. I do it in football. I do it in basketball. If I got a good run game, I'm looking for my receivers. If I know I got a good connection, 3 receivers and quarterback, I'm worried about my run game. How we gonna move the ball? How we gonna get the short yardages? I don't want to pass. I don't want to pass when I got 3rd and 1s. I look for, especially when you think you got a good team, you just look for, because good teams are going to be able to stop or really, really slow down what you're best at. Really good teams are going to be able to sell out on one part of your game. It's like that in every team sport. Who's going to give me my easy buckets? Or who's going to cut? Who's going to make those cuts backdoor to the basket to give me my easy buckets and my fouls? Right? My free throws are going to be like my special teams in football. If I can hit my free throw, it's something nobody ever wants to talk about. You just wanted to, listen, you want to line up from 38 and in and feel like I can go get it. I can go to the bathroom. I can go get a sandwich. And by the time I get back and we're ready to kick off, I know I got 3 points on the board. You want to be able to get fouled and you want to be able to clap your hands and be excited. So I'm between now and Kansas, even after Kansas, I'm going to be complaining about where our easy ones are going to come from, because that's all. Look, listen, just like your field goals, it's going to make the difference. A lot of games, it's going to make the difference. Your confidence in your field goal kicker, your punting unit, your special teams unit is going to make all the difference in the world. My easy baskets is going to be my offensive line. My easy baskets are going to be my Achilles, my offensive line. None of this is going to work unless I get some easy baskets. I'm gonna roll my eyes about my best passer when I'm frustrated. I'm gonna roll my eyes about my shooters when I'm frustrated. I'm only gonna say, where are my easy baskets and my free throws gonna come from? So I'm gonna be looking forward to, like I said, I'll probably look at every highlight from the summer for the rest of my day. I'll look at every highlight and I'll find out who's going to be getting to the basket and how they're going to be drawn up. So over the next couple of days, we're going to have that discussion. Where my easy baskets come by, and I'll give you a good gauge on how confident I am about that part of it. Listen, I'm going to stay on schedule. Stay tuned. Up next, Coach Kelsey and ACC Media Day. It's that time of year, good people. Let me take our last commercial break. Rolling along, 93.9 The Ville.
College Football Saturday.
All right, what's up, Marcus?
You take